Exploring the dynamics of permanent resident immigration to Canada, an extensive analysis. Canada, known for its mix of cultures and welcoming attitude towards newcomers, is an attractive place for people from around the world who want to make it their home. My interest in Canadian permanent residency comes from my own journey immigrating here. As I went through the process, I met many different people on public forums and discussion boards who all shared the dream of starting a new life in Canada. This inspired me to look into data about who's moving here and why. About the data set, the information we are using for this study comes from the Government of Canada's website. It includes a wide range of data from 2015 to 2023. Since there isn't one single data set, data from multiple data sets was curated to make two data sets for our analysis. The first data set consisted of 19 columns and 118 rows, and the second data set consisted of 11 columns and 211 rows, which consisted of the country and continent information. The province and year is common to all dataset, helping in joining and consolidating. The data was pretty neat and no information was missing, but I had to change some column names and organize it differently using Python and MS Excel for this. Most of the graphs were made using Tableau and Matplotlib. Delving into the guiding questions, the first question is to find which country's citizens immigrate to Canada as permanent residents the most. From this visualization of the map, we can see that Indian citizenship constituted the largest group of immigrants to Canada as PR, totaling 505K. Next is China at 139K and Philippines at 103K. To analyze in more clarity, I made a bubble chart where each bubble shows the top three countries of citizenship in each continent. We see India, China, Philippines in Asia, Nigeria leading in African continent, US and Mexico in North America, France in Europe, and so forth. Moving on to the next guiding question, which is which provinces excel in attracting permanent residents, immigration, and what is the year on year trend for new PR arrivals in the top four ranked province? Here we can see that Ontario is the most popular province for immigrants with over 812,000 people moving there from 2019 to 2023. At rank 2 is British Columbia and then Quebec and Alberta. Since these four provinces are the most popular, from here on we'll focus our analysis on them. In the second part of the investigation, we see that in 2020, there is a big drop in people moving to these provinces SPR because of the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdowns around the world, with Ontario and British Columbia seeing as low as 10% immigration in that year. But as things started to get back to normal, immigration started to pick up in 2021. Both Ontario and British Columbia can be seen with a big rise to 25%. One interesting thing we noticed was how much Quebec's PR immigration rate went from 21% to 29%. This was because Quebec had failed to meet its immigration goals to welcome 69,225 permanent residents in 2020 and admitted only 25,235 individuals as per the reports. So Quebec made plans to bring in more people to fill this shortfall. We saw this impact in the year 2022, since an average PR application takes about 9 months of processing time. So hence the data was shown a bit delayed. Uh, Moving on to the third guiding question, is there a correlation between industry and provinces? And within the top four provinces, which industry was observed has observed the highest influx of immigrants over the past 5 years? So looking at the correlation matrix, Ontario emerged as a strongly correlated with software tech teaching and engineering industries. So we can confirm this association looking at this particular graph, where it can be seen that Ontario attracts 15% of PR immigrants from the software industry and 12% from the teaching industry. This could be because of the numerous IT companies and educational institutions present in this particular province. Next, when we see Quebec has a strong connection with both banking and medical industry. But let's look at the graph, what the graph has to say. So the graph also confirms this data, which shows that Quebec has a big 24% share compared to Ontario's of 5% in the banking industry. This reflects that Quebec's efforts to grow in the banking and become another important financial center. In the other graph, I've touched based on the medical industry, where Ontario is leading, but Quebec is also catching up in attracting immigrants in the medical sector. Moving on to the next question, that is the fourth question, which is what is the average gender and age distribution in PR immigration to Canada? In terms of gender, there seems to be an equal mix in the number of males and females immigrating as PR, so there's no disparity as such. Here we have analyzed the different age bins with the provinces for the last 5 years. We can see that Ontario is the top choice for young adults aged 15 to 29, with over 304,000 immigrants, and the province also attracts age group of 30 to 44, showing its popularity among the young professionals and mid professionals. This could be probably in the software sector. Why I'm saying this, because we have a data on PR in Ontario, and the software industry shows the highest jump. So maybe it's the software industry that's trying to attract people over there. So, on the other hand, Alberta and Quebec seem to focus on attracting professionals aged 30 to 44. Probably they're focusing on the skilled and experienced workers. Finally, moving on to the final guideline question, which is what is the immigration trend for occupation of truck drivers in Canada? Truck driver occupation being one of the most in demand and highly paid jobs in Canada. Between 2019 and 2023, the truck drivers moved to Canada as PRs, and the data can be seen that as per the tree map that Ontario was the most popular destination, and followed by Manitoba. In 2023, a report from CIC News mentions that transport jobs are one of the five sectors prioritized by Canada for immigration through express entry. This is because there's a shortage of truck drivers, which can cause delays and high prices of goods, affecting the economy. However, in this particular graph, it's noteworthy to see that there is a decline in the truck driver immigration as PR from 2022 to 2023 for Ontario, indicating a saturation point or a shift in the provincial priorities. In contrast, Manitoba has shown an aggressive acceptance of truck drivers, reaching 790 immigrants in 2023. Overall, the immigration trend for truck drivers in Canada underscores the country's recognition of the importance of this occupation in addressing the labor market needs and supporting the economic growth. Hence, concluding my presentation, the key inferences from the analysis are: the study finds that people from India, China, and Philippines move to Canada, showing that Canada welcomes people from different backgrounds. Ontario, British Columbia, Quebec, and Alberta are still the top choices for people moving to Canada. Ontario is good for jobs in software, teaching, and engineering, while Quebec is better for banking and medical jobs. No gender disparity seen in PR immigration. Many young and middle-aged people choose Ontario, whereas Alberta and Quebec are attracting more experienced workers. Finally, many truck drivers are moving to Canada, especially to Ontario and Manitoba. This shows that Canada needs more skilled workers in transportation. Thank you.